Okay, before I watch this video, can we just talk about this hair that you're going to see for the whole video? Okay, let me tell you what's up with my hair. I started using a cleansing conditioner and it's done something like really weird to the roots of my hair. And I had it in a ponytail all day and you're just going to see some wild hair in this video. So if you want to see some wild hair, then just keep watching. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Stephanie and I'm here to give you my weekly weigh-in update. So first things first, I was up a pound this week, so that makes it 3 weeks in a row of me gaining. Last week was up 0.2, the week before that was up 0.6, so I'm up 1.8 pounds in 3 weeks. Kind of weird, isn't it? Yeah, that's what I think. I think it's weird because I know that I'm tracking and I know that I'm staying within my points. The weird thing is that the week that I binged twice and I tracked and I exercise every day. I mean, I'm the same level of active for the most part, so I don't really even factor in my exercise into what's happening. Anyway, that week that I was only at 0.2, I had gone over my smart points by and my weeklies by I think it was about 75. So that's just kind of weird, isn't it? I think it's weird. Now, the first time that I gained, I was like, whatever. I just had a really big loss. I'm gonna have a couple weeks where I gain, or maybe one gain and then stay the same, maybe a small loss. But to have 3 gains in a row, that hasn't happened for a long time. And usually if it did happen, I feel like those were the times where I just wasn't in the game. And I have been in the game, especially this last week. I had given my scale to my husband. I'm like, take this to work, get it out of my house. So I'd gone the whole week. I was diligent and tracking everything, extra careful and close. I was still up a pound. I think that's really weird. These are my thoughts, because I had a long heart-to-heart with my Weight Watchers leader. I was like, look, I gotta be honest, I'm not having this great success on Smart Points that I know other people are having. I know people in my meetings are having great success. I see a lot of people online that are having great success. I'm not having great success when I try to do Smart Points. So back in December when they switched, I was on a groove with Points Plus. I was eating a high-fat, low-carb diet, moderate protein, no wheat, and I was losing every single week for the first time in 5 years. I was feeling more awake and alive than I had in 5 years. Everything was just awesome. And then they switched to Smart Points, and I could not make my high-fat, low-carb life plan work into Smart Points. Let me just give you a quick example. A tablespoon of coconut oil went from 3 Points Plus to 7 Smart Points. Well, I eat 1 or 2 tablespoons of coconut oil a day. So I could either have my 7 points worth of coconut oil, 120 calories, or say 7 points of chicken. That's going to be depending on the kind of chicken, let's just say 3 ounces is 2 points. So that would be 9, I don't know, about 9 ounces of chicken to get to 7 Smart Points. So that's a lot more calories, a lot more, just a lot more calories. So if I'm having 7 points of coconut oil versus 7 points of chicken, it's more calories for the chicken. So you're really incentivized to eat high protein, low fat, fat-free. Your fruits are free, vegetables are free. So, I do think that Weight Watchers is a great balanced way to eat. But for somebody like me, I just have to accept that for whatever reason, maybe I'm the 1 in 500 who has so many little quirks about their body, the autoimmune disease that I have, Hashimoto's, the other cortisol and adrenal fatigue issues that I've struggled with, hormonal imbalances. Maybe I'm just that person who really can't tolerate certain ways of eating. Now, I know from past experience that I do not do well on a high protein diet. I just don't. So in these 3 weeks, what happened like a month ago is I was wanting to come back to Smart Points because I wanted to be doing the program that I was paying for. I wanted to participate more in my meetings. I see a lot of people having awesome success on Smart Points, and I'm like, well, I want to have that too. I mean, I want to have killer success. I see all these people losing weight every single week on Smart Points. I want a piece of that pie too. So I went back to Smart Points, and every week that I have been, every weigh-in since going back to just tracking Smart Points, I've gained. And I think it's because I'm incentivized to eat higher protein. I'm incentivized to eat more fruit. The things that are lower in points, I mean, yeah, you kind of want to eat those. And unfortunately for me, that way of eating is not helping me with my goals. And so the first gain, I was like, oh, whatever. Maybe it's some water retention, and maybe it's the time of the month. I just had a big loss. But you know what? My exercise routine hasn't changed. My sleep hasn't really changed. I did have a really bad week of stress, and I know that stress can affect your weight. The other thing is that, you know, these different foods that I've been eating, maybe a little bit more fruit, maybe a little bit more of the protein. For me, those foods cause inflammation, and I really believe that that 1.8 pounds, it's not fat that I'm gaining. I'm not like getting bigger per se. I believe that I'm experiencing some inflammation and water retention. Now, I took my measurements after my 30 days, because I've been doing my workout program, and according to my measurements, I'm down like a little tiny bit all over my body this month. Little tiny bit. So, I mean, I feel like, who knows, like, would I have lost that much if I wasn't working out? Probably, if I was still dieting. I believe that weight loss is like 99% diet and maybe 1% exercise. So, anyway, I just want to throw that out there. I'm probably all over the place. The conclusion that I've come to is that Points Plus made it very easy to fit whatever kind of eating style you wanted to do. You can make it work in Points Plus. For Smart Points, I really feel like I'm living proof that a high-fat, low-carb lifestyle, it just doesn't work. I end up eating too much protein, and it doesn't work. It just doesn't work. So for me, I don't tolerate the grains and the carbs. I don't tolerate that very well. I don't tolerate a higher protein diet. It doesn't work for me. I haven't been feeling like as amazing. I've been okay. Like, it hasn't been terrible. And my leader's like, well, how many weeklies do you get? Can you use that to kind of supplement your eating style so that you can have those higher healthy fats? And I'm like, yeah, to a point, but I mean, I'm still incentivized to eat more of this food than my healthy fats. It's just how it is. So what happened on Friday is I came home and I was just like, I'm tired about this. Like, what is my body wanting? And I felt starved for healthy fats. And so I kind of went a little crazy, and I made myself a big old bowl of fat. Coconut oil, coconut butter, put some peanut butter in there, and it was probably close to a half a cup worth of straight fat. And I ate it, and I felt amazing. All of a sudden, my edge of hunger went away. I felt energized. I felt like really satisfied. Like, I couldn't have eaten even my favorite food if it was in front of me, because the fats are so rich that they just obliterate my hunger. They obliterate my want for snack. I went out and worked in the garden. I had a great rest of the day. I didn't even feel like I needed dinner. Yeah, it was like 24 points worth of, maybe even more than that, on Points Plus. I don't know, but I felt amazing. And the next day, yesterday, I did another high-fat, low-carb. I stayed right in my points for Points Plus. And I was so curious because I'm not weighing every day, but I was really curious. You know, I've had 2 days of eating the way that makes me feel amazing. I wonder what's happened. Well, I get on the scale, I'm down 3 pounds. Now, I know that I am not down 3 pounds of body weight. Remember what I said, that 1.8 pounds that I had gained, I don't think that it was necessarily fat loss. I think that it, or fat gain, I think that it was probably a really odd combination of inflammation and water retention, maybe some calorie gain, whatever you want to call it. Maybe my fat cells were a little bit inflated that week. And so those 3 pounds that are gone, I'm smart enough to know that that wasn't like, oh, I just burned, like 10,000 calories in 2 days. It's not how it works. So sometimes that's one thing I have to say, like, don't trick yourself. If you see that scale going up and down, like, don't trick yourself. You have to, like, be real. Like, if the scale is down 4 pounds after one day, like, you have to know that that's just like a fluctuation of the inflammation in your body and the water weight. So, like, I'm not tricking myself to say, oh, well, poof, I lost 3 pounds. No, the inflammation is gone. Whatever water retention I was having, that's gone, which is awesome. So maybe, really, I have been losing some, weight along the way, and maybe I just had a bunch of excess fluid. I don't know. But the bottom line, and I had a long talk with my Weight Watchers leader, she's like, you don't have time to waste. You're trying to reach your goals. You just do what works for you. Just do what works for you. So I've pulled out my menus, my old menus. I'm going to go back to Points Plus because I still need boundaries. I still believe that there isn't a magic formula to weight loss. Even if you're, restricting your carbs and restricting your breads or your grains or whatever. I mean, at the end of the day, there has to be a deficit. And so for me, I still need the points to help me create that deficit in my body. And then the chemical reactions that happen, that's how I kind of look at it. Like, I look at weight loss and food as like a big chemical reaction that's happening inside of my body. So for me, the high fat, low carb, medium protein, that creates the right kind of chemical reaction in my body, coupled with the calorie deficit to lose weight. So I have to do that. I can't mess around anymore. I want to have another baby. I want to get healthy. Like, my goal was to be out of the 200s by July. On my scale right now, I'm 217. So I still have 17 pounds to go, and I'm like almost halfway through April. That gives me 2.5, 3.5 months to lose 17 pounds. I mean, probably not going to happen. But doesn't mean that I'm not going to try. I mean, who knows? So I'm going back to Points Plus. I'm going back to my high-fat, low-carb way of eating. I've pulled out all of my meal plans, my tracking journal, so that I can follow that template and feel great and feel amazing and get back to what I'm here to do, which is reach my health goals. So that's my story. Kind of long. Thank you for watching. Sorry if this kind of sounded like a rant. If you're struggling with Smart Points, I'm so sorry. If you're killing it on Smart Points, like, more power to you. I'm totally inspired and quite frankly jealous because the app, I love Weight Watchers and I love the app, and I'm kind of crying inside that the program's it's just not working for me. Maybe I'm like the 1 in 500. I don't know. So, thanks again for watching, and I guess that's it for tonight. I'll see you in my next video. Bye.